The Golden State Warriors have officially entered the DeAndre Ayton sweepstakes, and they're not just in the mix. They're the favorites. According to betting odds from Bovada, the Warriors are listed at plus 235 to sign Ayton following his sudden buyout from the Portland Trail Blazers. They're ahead of the Lakers, plus 350, Suns, plus 400, and Raptors, plus 450, in the race for the former number 1 overall pick. Ayton becomes free agent after surprise buyout. Ayton's availability caught the league off guard. On Saturday, Shams Charania of The Athletic reported that Ayton and the Blazers were finalizing a contract buyout, making the 26-year-old center an unrestricted free agent. It's a fresh start for Ayton, who had struggled to find his footing in Portland's crowded frontcourt. Shams noted the move gives him a chance at a fresh opportunity elsewhere, perhaps with a playoff-caliber team like Golden State. Warriors could roll the dice on talent. Golden State isn't exactly known for adapting to traditional big men. Under Steve Kerr, the Warriors have thrived with movement-heavy, pass-first systems that reward IQ over isolation. But the 2024-25 season exposed cracks in the foundation. Draymond Green remains the heartbeat of Golden State's defense, but at 35, asking him to play small ball 5 full-time takes a toll. It wears him down. It invites injury. Adding Ayton wouldn't just fill a positional need. It would protect Green, let him pick his spots, conserve his energy, and in doing so, extend the life of the Warriors' core. Ayton may not fit the mold of a classic Warriors big, but he brings something Golden State hasn't had in years, a physically gifted center who could grow into the system. Fit with Curry and Butler? Ayton's ability to command attention inside could create space for Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler, Golden State's new Batman and Robin, who powered the team to the second round last season. No, Ayton isn't a classic read-and-react big, but at 26, he still has room to grow. And during the Suns' 2021 finals run, he showed flashes of the kind of connector the Warriors have long valued. In other words, it just might work. The Golden State Warriors just made their first move toward keeping Jonathan Kuminga ahead of free agency. While there is still a long road ahead, the team extended a qualifying offer to its rising star. The Warriors extended a $7.9 million qualifying offer to Kuminga, The Athletic's Anthony Slater reported. The tender allows Golden State to negotiate with Kuminga as he enters restricted free agency ahead of his 5th season. Kuminga, who made just $7.3 million in 2024-2025, is seeking a substantial pay raise. With multiple teams interested in him and willing to pay, the tender is more of a formality than a legitimate offer. The Warriors reserve the right to match any deal Kuminga is offered in free agency. However, given their limited cap space, a large deal would likely be out of their price range. The Warriors currently have 9 players contracted through the 2025-2026 season, not including Kuminga. The majority of their cap space is taken up by Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, who are owed a combined $139 million in 2025-2026. Curry and Butler are both making more than $54 million per year over the next 2 seasons. Warriors' Jonathan Kuminga has multiple options in free agency. While Kuminga's Warriors tenure is not officially over, the writing appears to be on the wall. Tension between the two sides has been escalating for years and has intensified exponentially during the 2024-2025 season. With multiple options on the table, Kuminga seems destined to begin his 5th season with a different organization. Though his scoring numbers dipped slightly from a career-high 16.1 points per game in 2023-2024 to 15.3 in 2024-2025, Kuminga looked like a budding star in the playoffs. As the Warriors struggled with injuries, Kuminga stepped up in the conference semifinals, leading the team with 20.8 points per game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. If he does not outright sign with another team, Kuminga could be used in a sign-and trade. The Miami Heat, Sacramento Kings, and Brooklyn Nets are among the handful of teams interested in him. The Heat already have an established connection to the Warriors after negotiating a 3-team trade involving Butler at the deadline. LeBron James and Stephen Curry are the 2 greatest players of the last generation of basketball. One of the best NBA players in history has had some epic battles throughout the years with the most elite shooter in NBA history. Because of that, fans have long dreamed of the two teaming up. It may be a more realistic possibility than ever this offseason. James just picked up his player option for $52.6 million, but his agent, Rich Paul, also hinted at potential trade interest. The Golden State Warriors seem like one of the logical trade partners for James if the Los Angeles Lakers are forced to move him. Warriors' potential trade package for LeBron James. Warriors receive LeBron James, Bronny James. Lakers receive Jimmy Butler. James has not outright demanded a trade, and there is still a good chance that he will finish out his career in Los Angeles. However, Paul said, James, knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie, Bus, and Rob Pelinka, and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. These comments, at the bare minimum, suggest that James isn't happy with the state of the Lakers roster. At most, it signals that he wants to move to a legitimate contender. James forms an excellent pairing with Luka Doncic, a fellow megastar who is among the best players currently in the NBA and the main piece from last trade deadline's biggest blockbuster deal. However, the Doncic trade left the Lakers with some holes on the roster. Most notably, a lack of center depth hurt them in the postseason. While this trade proposal wouldn't fix the big man problem in Los Angeles, it would better set them up for the future. Jimmy Butler is no spring chicken, but at 35 years old, he likely has more tread on the tires than the 40-year-old James does. A leaked video confirmed that James likely only has 1 or 2 more seasons left in him. Butler does a little bit of everything and could fill the void left by James' potential departure better than most. Like James, he is one of the best playmaking wings in the NBA. He is also an excellent interior and mid-range scorer, an incredible defender, and one of the rare superstars who is willing to do the dirty work that leads to winning. Doncic has never been a defensive ace or one who is known for hustling, but Butler could mask some of the flaws of the player who the Lakers have made their long-term face of the franchise. The Lakers might want some draft capital in return for James, but they couldn't be too upset about flipping a 40-year-old for a 6-time All-Star, especially considering reports suggested that teams would be hesitant to part with multiple players in a deal for James. Does LeBron James make sense for the Warriors? The Warriors traded Dennis Schroeder, Lindy Waters, Kyle Anderson, Andrew Wiggins, and a protected first-round pick for Jimmy Butler ahead of the trade deadline. Butler fit in perfectly, and the Warriors had their best stretch of the season with him on the team. That makes it unlikely that they'd flip him in a package for James. James is the superior player to Butler as of now, but both players do a lot of the same things at this stage in their respective careers. Butler is not only younger, but he is under team control for longer. Even so, the Warriors might not be in a position to legitimately contend for the championship right now, so a swing on a 4-time champion with 10 NBA Finals appearances could be fun. James' driving and playmaking ability at 6'8", 250 pounds, would work perfectly with a shooter like Curry. From a roster-building perspective, it likely doesn't make sense to add James, but fans would remember decades from now when the all-time leading scorer teamed up with the all-time leading three-point shooter, especially after all of the epic NBA Finals battles they shared beforehand.